What's going on, you guys? Thanks for tuning in. Yes, I was probably denied a Filip Mesar interview by the Kitchener Rangers. Not bitter about it, but I was just definitely disappointed. I wanted to bring you guys an interview either pre-game or post-game from Filip, and apparently the answer I got was that Mesar has been getting 3 to 5 interview requests every day from the kitchen, like with the Kitchener Rangers from several other outlets. I don't know exactly where those would all be from, of course, but that's the answer I got. So that's what I got to go with. And I was still fortunate, basically, to be rinkside to see Filip play the whole game, though. So I'm going to show you guys some highlights of his game, and I'm going to actually give you guys some notes on everything I saw from Mesar last night. So one of the first things I noticed from his game was that he really winds up really well. Like, you know what I mean? He really winds up in the defensive zone, getting ready to join a rush and create an offensive chance really quickly. He can wind up pretty good. He's a great skater, very smooth skater. He's got fantastic edge work, very, very good edge work. He can turn on a dime. He's good in both ends. He's to me, based on the game I saw yesterday, a pretty decent 200-foot player. He was used on the penalty kill and on the power play. Very creative. Filip Mesar is very creative. A lot of chances came off his stick last night that just didn't get buried. He finished the game with 2 assists. Probably could have had 2 or 3 more because his other teammates just couldn't finish some plays, but also only registered 2 shots on goal. I didn't find that they were actually using Phil, if I can call him Phil, in like a top line role against Niagara, because I don't know if you guys know, but our hometown Niagara Ice Dogs are basically last year's Montreal Canadiens, so they are down in the dumps at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, if not all of the OHL. I didn't pull it up right now, but the Ice Dogs are in it to try to get like a first overall pick if they can, because they've never done it. But the Ice Dogs aren't very good, and they still made it a competitive game, though, against the Kitchener Rangers. So what I noticed from Mesar, too, is that he was rubbed out on the boards a bunch of times by some Ice Dogs players, so they did play him pretty physically throughout the night and tried to limit his opportunities when they could, which to an extent they did. 2 assists. I mean, I think he could have certainly finished with more, like I said, but that was just a matter of certain players not finishing. There was one great play in the third period where Mesar avoided a hit and then laid a hit in the same sequence. I don't know which player it was on Niagara, but he dodged a hit right in front of us, in front of the Niagara Ice Dogs bench, and then with his shoulder followed through and laid out that very same player. It was a very smart hit, actually, because he avoided it and then laid out his own. The player trying to hit him got the worst of it. So that was really fun to watch from Mesar. He doesn't stand pat. So this is one thing that Mesar I found, which was very, very good in terms of the style of play that the Montreal Canadiens eventually want to keep playing, which is more offensive. And that is that Mesar does not stand pat. He doesn't stay put wherever he is on the ice. He's always moving. He's always mobile. In the offensive zone, especially, too, like just changing angles. He's following the play, trying to be defensively responsible, but also just positionally sound. And like I just mentioned, he doesn't stand put. He doesn't stay in the same spot. So he's kind of elusive as a skater as well. He does have that's like a speedy entry into the offensive zone. He's got good stick handling abilities, playmaking abilities, a lot of things to like if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, and certainly shows why they picked him with the kind of team that they're trying to build. So it shows that in the way that Mesar plays. And the first comparable Montreal Canadian player when he was drafted, and I mentioned this in the video I posted the day he was drafted, was that Thomas Plekanec is kind of maybe the ceiling in terms of what kind of a NHL player Mesar could become. He's still 5'10", 168 pounds right now. Not a huge guy, and certainly he can be, if you play him physically, you can take him out of a lot of plays. So hopefully he adds more size going into next year. I don't know that he's going to make the Canadiens next year just based on seeing this one game. I think he could use one more year in junior, if not in Laval, maybe next year. But another year of junior wouldn't hurt him. He's only played, maybe 30 games here. He's got 29 points, so almost a point per game in the OHL. And I think another season getting used to this ice size too, again, just like Slavkovsky was before he got hurt, would be a good thing for Mesar. Let's keep him. I think junior hockey would do him some more good if he stayed in it for maybe another year, depending on how big and how skilled and how ready he is at training camp next year, right? So that's all I got for you guys. You saw the game footage here, and I got to meet Phil at the Bell Center in Montreal in the home opener against Toronto. So I was hoping to just kind of tell him a story about how he probably won't recognize me, but we did meet before. So I didn't get a chance to interview him, but that's okay. We'll get plenty of opportunities, hopefully in the future. And there's other players that are going to be lined up coming soon that I'm going to try to interview, including Habs prospects, like I've mentioned to you guys. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Deeksy signing off.